Thank you, Lauren. We have 2 scheduled speakers, and then we will have some of you who signed up to say a few words after that. The first person we have coming up is Mr. Greg McClure.
Thank you, Lauren. And a big thanks to Dennis, too, for, in his own way, making it possible for all of us to get here and gather with each other to remember Dennis and the fact that he gave his heart and soul to the business. And we have now accumulated enough years and semi-wisdom to understand that what we really did was share our heart and souls with each other. Anybody who ever heard Dennis or heard any of us as we listened and heard each other, and all of San Jose and wherever the heck else heard us, all the way out to the cosmos, perhaps still listening, we've shared it all with you, our heart and soul. Thank you, Dennis. I was a production director, so sometimes I would work late at night, and Dennis would be there. And one night, all I can say to keep this short is that I was there when Dennis had his way with a duck. I just had to clean up the feathers. Dennis, we love you. And I knew that Dennis would like the shirt that I'm wearing. I had a dream a couple nights ago that I was at an event just like this, and either Dennis was here or somehow I knew he liked this statement. Mama told me not to come. And I said, well, that's because I never did anything my mama said, including I never became a priest. I don't know, maybe it's just a lot of Catholic recovery or not, but we all had an energy and a vibe at that station that will never be repeated perhaps, but we can sure share it again as we are today. Thank you so much.
This just in, your fly is, Our next speaker is a friend of mine that I met through radio and a friend of all of us, and we're all very, very happy that he's here to speak. He's fought a good battle himself, and he's kept his sense of humor about everything. So our next speaker is Mr. Fred Reese.
Thank you, Ted. It's nice to know what the Gap has on sale this week. Really good look. Haven't changed at all. You should, though. Dennis to me was always like he stayed at 9. He liked what a 9-year-old liked, and then he had an adult view that was very detailed on it. He liked monster movies. He liked comics, and he liked the Stooges, and he liked tits. And that never changed. He just drew a deeper appreciation on the concept of Shemp Howard versus Joe Besser versus Curly. All these were very key things to him, and he would get on a tear, and he, of course, had that unique thing of people that smoke a lot of dope. Most people would be like comatose, like on Spider-Man's web on that corner with the dope this guy smoked, and he would get amped. And then he would get in arguments about wrestling, stooges, and tits. But I went to his place. He had this apartment. As you know, he would be popular, and then he'd do some weird thing, and then he'd wait tables for 3 years, and then he'd get popular again. And then he freaked out when they said you got to use a computer. And I'm thinking, why did you freak out? You're going to go home, and you're going to get on the computer and realize you can get stooges, monsters, and tits. And I'm sure he's going, I fucked up on the tit thing. I can't believe what's online. And he had a horrible time. The guy had a great heart. He was a monster when he hit the mic. But the thing is, he had a really nice heart. He had the sincerity and love of passions that kids liked as a child, the things that inspired him. He stuck to, and he developed, and he matured with them, and really took them way seriously, which was great. I remember being over his apartment. Got off on a slight tangent there. But he said, Fred, you got to come over. I got Olsen and Johnson. Olsen and Johnson were these comics that never made the cut. Abbott and Costello took their cut away, and there was a thing called Hellapalooza, which is a great offbeat film. So we came over. He's smoking dope. Shut the fuck up. And also I was thinking, if Dennis was alive, he'd ask Aunt Fran to flash her tits, which I think would be good. I could go over the line with Dennis. But the thing was, like, we watched that, and he said, Fred, do you want anything to eat? Food. Wow, after 3 hours, food. Yeah, okay, I'll have something. And he goes to the freezer, and he pulls out a frozen McDonald's hamburger. And he had like 20 of them, and I think I said, I'll pass. Where's the dope? Nothing. But the bottom line is he had a good heart, and everyone wanted to protect him. And even as harsh as he was and as brutal as he was on the air, everyone knew he had a heart. He's a very sensitive soul who could have his feelings hurt, and I think was very sensitive to hurting the feelings of other people. And I was very privileged to know him. And the world would be better if he was here. I met a lot of people through him, and thank you very much for having me here too.
Thanks, Fred. Your tea time is up. Thank you, golfers. We have a few people that signed up. They wanted to say 1 or 2 minutes of a few things about Dennis. First person to come up, worked with him also at KOME, is Jeff Blasey.
Thank you very much. I'm the first guest speaker, so I'll stick to the 2 minutes because I don't want to ruin the finale when Dennis jumps out in the back and punks us all. It's going to be great. And how great would that be? I really want to get up to thank everybody in this room who put together the KOME reunion in 2005, because for many of us, it was that last opportunity to see him, speak to him, have a picture taken with him. And in my case, our schedules were literally night and day. The Blasey and Bob show in the morning, and he was on at night. We had no closeness with each other. I did not get to know him, and it was wonderful at the reunion to sit down with him and say, I respected you. You transformed the radio station at night. When you turned on KOME at night, you said to yourself, this does not sound like it has the rest of the day. And I would be driving at night going, I cannot believe that's emanating from the same room I stand in every day. And it's chaos. And I will admit there were mornings that I was standing there the next day going, we're not doing fucking anything, okay? He was amazing last night. So I got a chance to tell him that. And then for those of us who got to be at his 60th birthday party at the hospital, that was another thing. And to my surprise, when I sat down next to him, for not knowing each other well, he held my hand for 45 minutes. And in that moment, as I talked to Don West and Donna and Jonah and Dana had just left, I kept thinking on the ride home, it will affect me the rest of my life. It was either it's all water under the bridge, Blasey, or he was just saying, shut the fuck up. As I will. Thank you.
Our next speaker started off as a KOME college intern and then became a promotional assistant and somewhere down the line, promotional manager. Please welcome Mindy Vargas.
When I was a college intern, so I was in my early 20s, and okay, Dennis was always very nice. He always made a point of looking me in the eye and saying hi and talking to me. The station, as you know, was really busy. Lauren was promotion director, and Lefty was the program manager, and the place was just so much fun. So much was going on. And I always tell people when I say that I worked at KOME that Dennis was so nice. And I think if I was just a listener, he would have scared the hell out of me. I don't think I ever would have approached him, but he was always so kind. And I watched Lauren do his work, and I'm like, oh, that job looks like so much fun, but I could never do that. And then eventually I was promotion assistant, and then I got a chance to do that. And it was a really good experience at KOME, a lot of fun, made a lot of great friends. And but Dennis, it's just, he's just a big heart. and it came across every single time I saw him, and I'm just so very grateful to have gotten to know him in that way.